Hello, everybody, and happy Wednesday and happy first day of autumn and autumn equinox. And today is September 22nd, 2021, and I hope all of you are having a beautiful evening. Thank you so much if you are watching this live or if you are watching the replay. I have wanted to come on here this week, and I really wanted to really embrace this first day of autumn and really do it the right way. The other night I was really feeling super torn and wanted to do a full moon, review of what the full moon was and do some readings, but I was really not just feeling it. I really wanted to wait for this day today. This is probably one of my most favorite seasons, and it's something I so thoroughly enjoy. I love the fall weather. I love cozying up with sweaters, hot coffee and teas. I love everything Halloween. I love all of the holidays. Hi, Gina. Thank you so much for being here. I just absolutely love this time of year. I don't know if it's the ability that we just have this this silent permission from the season to start slowing down. And I feel like so many of us are in such dire need of this at this time in our life. So I really want to invite you tonight to really think about what it is that you're working on in your life right now. Do an inventory check-in on what is life like for you right now, because there's going to be questions and things we're going to be talking about this evening that's going to probably, be something that you might want to answer for yourself. I'm going to be raising some questions for you, and that's specifically what this whole autumn equinox is going to be doing. We're going to be really talking about the delivery of the energies of the autumn equinox. What is it really all about? And how we can prepare ourselves really well for this entire season and embrace all of the energies of it. I'm also going to be doing an autumn equinox message. I will also in the very end be doing one card reading. So if you are here with me to the end, awesome. If you're watching this later, then no big deal. So let's get started. I just wanted to first and foremost say thank you for everybody that really took the time and moment to send the prayers and healing energy and love out to my friend's mom, Sue, who I'm so happy to say is at home recovering and is doing well. So thank you all so much, and especially for this community who always comes together and really just shows up. And I so deeply, deeply appreciate that. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Perfect. Okay, so let's get started. So like I've been saying to you guys, this autumn equinox is really a Latin word. The equinox is really all about equal night. And so what we're having right now is a perfect amount of a 50-50 of light and darkness. And really, to me, it's a deeper representation of us entering in the Libra season. So we are entering into the month of Libra. Libra, if you remember, are all about the balance. It's the scales. So we're being asked to really think about balance in our lives right now. If in any way the last couple weeks have served you and depleted you, my goodness, trust me about this. I understand this more than you can imagine. You're really going to be excited about the energies that are coming up for you, because this is really about starting to slow down. I always feel from probably about July to the end of September, we're in this really tremendous hustle mode. I think it's because so many of us, especially as parents, are we're transitioning from that summer season into the fall or school season, but really we're setting ourselves up for this hustle energy. So there's so much transition and change. You're going from summer that's really relaxed, chilling, hanging out, to really starting to get back into the mode of things. And especially for so many of us who came out of this really deep COVID quarantine energy, going straight into go, go, go mode. Gina says, yes, it felt crazy. It's felt crazy. It has been very crazy. I feel like this full moon, I have felt more than any full moon recently. This full moon was so off the charts for me. It was so intense. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of reassure you that things will be slowing down. So just trust this process is all I have to say. Trust that it is going to slow down. So I'm just kind of reading my notes, so make sure I'm not forgetting anything. So the equinox, the autumn equinox, is really about honoring the harvest. I really want you to kind of think about that April really begins the season, the new year for the spiritual year. And that's like in astrological calendars, you'll see that it starts from April. So April, if you think about what's kind of going on, we're really starting to plant seeds. We're really starting to plant the intentions, our dreams, right? We're really starting to do that in the spring. So now we are really reaping the rewards of that harvest. So think about all back in April, around that time, what was happening for you? What were your dreams? What was the vision? What was all of the stuff that you were starting to think of in the beginning of the year? This is the time to really think, are we on point? And we're going to talk a lot more about that. So the harvest time, this is what we're in. It's literally all about a true harvest, right? The almanac, the whole harvest, there's a whole schedule with the Farmer's Almanac, and there's a whole thing with that. But also, there's a lot to be said about the harvesting within. We're harvesting the seeds that we planted back in April. So this is also a time of celebration, and also autumn equinox is called Mabon. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for being here. So this technically is the first day of fall, okay? So we are really deep in it. So like I said, when we were back in April, we were planting the seeds. We were really in this kind of dream state, creating that vision really deep into all of that and really setting out those intentions. But honestly, what was really happening is we were coming out from a winter to spring transition. So we're kind of waking up from the slumber. So when we're in April, we're starting to reawaken, rebirth ourselves, waking up to what we want. And technically, the spring equinox is really about outward growth. We're really going outward. We're really starting to think about the growth of what we want and the vision and everything. But fall, the autumn equinox, is completely different. It is a completely different experience. This, if you really think about the slowing down, it's starting to get cold. Let's all pray for California here. We're really starting to enter this fall season of, in a sense, this hibernation. We're really starting to slow down. And it really allows us to get grounded back inward. This is an inward experience here. And so this is really about the preparation. I say that fall is the preparation really for the true winter. It is for the true hibernation. So we're really in this preparation mode right now, okay? So we're making room for ourselves. This is a whole time for rest, rejuvenation, relaxation on a different level, and also really doing a different kind of vision work. We did a lot back in April, don't get me wrong, but this type of vision work is so reflective. It's so inward. And if you can really start to think about what April is, think about the spring to summer, you're really energized, you're really going for it. But fall, we start slowing down. And there's a purpose for the seasons. There's a purpose that all the seasons really match the inward experience. So this is really important during this time more than ever to start thinking about energies and how you feel about things and what is going on in your life. And I'm going to really invite you tonight to really, if you've got a journal, book, take notes. If you are here and you really want to understand things right now, you really want to understand your life, You're definitely going to want to take notes. I'm going to really go deep into my readings tonight. I'm also going to go deep into a reading about this autumn equinox, okay? And so this is where I would say our transformations are really going to begin. This is the self-reflective work that really, in my mind, in my opinion, and the work I've done in the past, when I enter a fall to winter time frame, I'm in deep transformation within myself. So the growth outwardly begins in April, but the inner work begins now. This can be a very uncomfortable time for people because we're not hustling and bustling. We're slowing down. And a lot of people don't like to be uncomfortable. And this is really important for a lot of people, that if you want to make change happen, sometimes you need to slow down and listen to what's going on inside of you. And it can be uncomfortable. And I have done a whole video about getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, but this is really it. This is where change happens. When you allow yourself and give yourself full permission to slow down and ask yourself, what is it that I truly need to work on in my life right now? So I'm gonna read you guys some stuff I wrote down. So again, we're entering the sign of Libra. It is all about balance. It is also about asking how to bring about balance into your life, okay? So the light and the darkness is a perfect 50-50 balance that's happening right now. So there's just enough light to illuminate things for you, but it's a perfect amount also of darkness to bring about that light is really lighting up the shadow work that we need to do. And the shadow work in spiritual practice is about your inner work. You'll hear this a lot. What is your shadow work? Your shadow work is really going deep, really making that commitment and making yourself kind of settle down, root yourself, ground your energy, do that journal work, do those deep meditations. This is when to get into yoga. This is when all of this stuff has happened. Hi, Lupe. Thank you so much for joining us. So this is really about paying attention to that shadow side of yourself, okay? So this is also and I wrote this down and I put this little note here. I want to also put out to you this one thought. I want to have you start thinking not about the balance on the inward side, but about the balance about what you're giving out and what you're receiving back. So think about how much energy you're giving out to the world. Are you truly receiving it back to you? Are you giving out a lot in relationships and not receiving back? This Libra season is going to be very, very clear about boundaries. And I cannot stress that enough to you. It is going to be huge. Setting boundaries in your life. Maybe you're going out too much. Maybe you're saying yes too much. Maybe you have friendships or relationships that you have in your life that are really a very unfair kind of balance here. So I really want you to start thinking about, what does balance really mean in my life right now? And what boundaries should I be establishing to help me create more balance in my life, okay? So I put out some deep questions that I want you to start asking yourself. Now, these are great questions. If anyone knows, you guys know, especially I've had some here that have worked with me personally, but especially my coaching clients, you guys know, and people who've taken my classes, I love to ask questions. I love to give spiritual assignments to people. And so these are great questions that you can put on the top of a page and allow yourself to grab a cup of coffee or tea, do a meditation, and really dive deep into these questions. So the first question I have for you, I want you to go back into the beginning of the year. I want you to start thinking about those seeds that you planted in the beginning of the year. That path that you set out for yourself. Maybe you did a vision board. Maybe you had goals. Maybe you had a bunch of stuff that you saw yourself doing of the year ahead, okay? So now we're on the other side of it. Let me ask you something. Is the path that you set out for yourself matching the vision? Are you where you are at? Like, are you matching that vision? Are you in the alignment of that path? If not, why? Where did you either fall off the path? Did the path change? Did you want it to change? Did something happen? Like, where are you at with it? This is where that transformative work begins. This is the time. So if I were to ask you the path that you set out for yourself in the beginning of the year, if you were really positive and you felt that vision, you felt that connection to it, where are you at with it? Did you meet any goals? Are you feeling off balance with it still? Do you feel like that there's blocks happening that are, is there something that's hindering you from making progress or maybe making a forward motion on things? What is happening? And these are really important questions to enter into this autumn equinox period and season, okay? The hibernation period that's really starting to begin is about going inward with all of this. The second question I have for you in this autumn equinox season is, what is no longer serving me that I need to let go of or release from my life? If you are holding on to energies and old false stories that do not serve you, the question should be, why am I holding on to them? What is this about? And I'd like to kind of pause for a moment. If any of you guys are struggling with anything right now, please let me know. I would like to hear some feedback so I can help somebody. This is an opportunity for some coaching to happen. And I like to see if anyone has anything they want to talk about. So is anyone right now dealing with some issues or blocks that they don't know how to either work through, or something's coming up for you? So what is it? What is something that's blocking you and no longer serving you that you know you need to let go of, but you're really struggling to let go of, okay? Excuse me, I just need my tea right now. Third question. Okay, so Gina says disconnection in a relationship. Okay, so Gina, thank you for first and foremost putting this out there. I love this. So let's talk about when we have a disconnect in relationship, what does that really mean? And I have gone through this personally myself. When we have a disconnect in any form of relationship, first and foremost, before I even answer that, let me talk about what relationships are. Relationships are beautiful mirrors and gifts to us. They mirror back within ourselves what's being illuminated. So instead of focusing on the relationship, the first question I'm going to have for you is to think about the relationship, but put the person to the side for just a moment. Let me ask you this, and it's not to put you on display or put this out, but this is a genuine question. When we feel a disconnect with someone or something, it really is going back, it's all connected to us. There's a connection. If I were to ask you, do you feel connected to yourself? What would the answer be? Relationships will always, always, always show us what is happening within us. They are the opportunity for the mirror work. So if we're not feeling connected in a relationship, what specifically is happening there? What could you say about yourself, right? So let me refresh this page and let me see what some of the answers are. Okay, and so I'm waiting for Gina to get back. All right, let's see here. So I'm gonna move on really quick. I'll come back to Gina. Sarah had said, I finally had my shift today. I've been struggling my ass off with blocking myself and holding myself back. Yes, I love it. Thank you so much, Sarah. That is so awesome. First off, congratulations for coming back. I don't ever feel like we're coming back to ourselves. I think we've always been there. I think that we just need to reawaken to ourselves. So I feel like it's just, sometimes we have delays or things that are kind of coming up for us to have personal growth or things to work through. There's maybe you've been struggling something, Sarah, for the last month, 2 months, whatever it is. But the question is what growth came from all of those delays or setbacks? What happened from there? And so I think Gina responded to her disconnection in a relationship, and I want to kind of see what she said. Gina says, I'm so busy that I feel like I'm treading water, barely making it work. Okay, so right there, as you can see, that's kind of the first thing I would say. If you're feeling like you're treading water, you feel like you're barely surviving. When we're feeling we're barely surviving, we're not really having those moments throughout the day of being present with our personal energy. We're just trying to survive. So what I would suggest to you is take this opportunity this coming weekend, find time to reassess where you can release things that no longer need to be on the schedule. Reassess your schedule, find ways to get back to self. They don't have to be huge moments. They can just be 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, many moments throughout the day where you shut your phone down, you eat your lunch, you're being present, you listen to beautiful music. How do you get back to yourself? If you don't fill your cup up and you're not having joyful moments, there is no way, that lack of connection that you're not giving yourself, you cannot have the relationship, the connection that you're so desiring to have. So I really want you to think about that, okay? And then Gina said, yesterday I felt like I was wearing concrete shoes. The energy was so heavy. So it might be heavy. Are you taking on other people's energies? What is happening there? So this is really, really important that you ask yourself, am I absorbing everyone's energies? Now, remember, I just said to you guys that we are really entering this Libra season. This balance that is so needed is really going to establish, we are being asked to establish strong boundaries, not because we don't want people to be in our lives, but because we need to, in a sense, honor the personal energy that we have of ourselves. This is self-love. When we create strong boundaries for ourselves, we really establish an honoring of ourselves, this protection. Then when we do that, we can choose, that isn't serving me, that is serving me. I know I want to hang out with you. I'm sorry, I'm not vibing with that. That's okay. Giving yourself full permission to be in that space, okay? Sarah also said, I did a huge release meditation with the full moon last night and today, and I finally felt like myself again, and it's the first time in months. I am so happy to hear this, Sarah. So thank you for sharing that with me and with all of us. I think, and I'm going to go back. Sarah said that she said that my lesson was coming back to myself and letting go of control and perfection, and totally just letting go of everything. So I'm going to say something really quick. So there's something you just said, Sarah, that I feel like is so important. The other day I was watching this YouTuber, and she was talking about how social media, the need to be perfect, to have that perfect post, that perfect look, the perfect outfit, the perfect hair, all of it is gone. Those days are gone. What we want, and what all of us, especially as women, more than ever, and I'm not saying men don't need this, but I'm telling you, as humans, just in general, all of us are craving authenticity. We want people to not be fake and to be real. Like, honestly, who gives a crap, right? We don't need all that. We want real, because that is sexy, and that is the turn on right there in my perspective. Nobody wants fake. Nobody wants that perfect setup all the time. It's not real. No one can do this. If I were to tell you how long it took me to set up, do all of this stuff, it's a lot of work. But it's not my everyday. And all of you guys who are following me on Instagram or Facebook, you guys are seeing me, no makeup, working out, all that, because that's real. That is real. So letting go of the need to have it right or perfect. First off, what does perfect even look like? Like, so honestly, there is no such thing. So honestly, Sarah, I would say that the beautiful thing that's coming from all of this is really entering this entire equinox period, honoring the authentic you, and really diving deep in this and showing up and sharing your message and sharing your light with the world is so important. So please make sure that you do that, okay? It's huge. So then I have Lupe that is saying, I've been working a lot. I had some canceled appointments and had time for myself and realized I needed some self-care and sleep. Huge, huge, huge. Self-care at its best. I have been reprioritizing so many things, and I bet, Lupe, you feel amazing. I cannot stress this enough, you guys. I'm telling you, it's been a year since I allowed myself to honor myself, honor my body. I reprioritized my schedule, my client schedule, and everything. And the one thing that I remembered that I was lacking was I wasn't giving myself nor honoring my time in the morning. So I decided that I had to make it a commitment every single day to do my 20 minutes a day and walk, move my body, work out, eat good food, do the best I can. And I said to myself, I did not want perfect. I did not need a specific number on the scale. I did not want that. I wanted to fall in love with myself again. I wanted to get to know myself again. And it has been the best year journey of my life. I feel so balanced for the first time ever. I have beautiful relationships and I feel so energized because I believe I'm honoring